What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a 5 best and 5 worst, one of my favorite series that I do here on my channel where I talk about my 5 favorite and my 5 least favorite products from either a category, a brand, or just a topic in general. And today we are going to be focusing all around new product releases. In my recent videos, I've been talking quite a bit about new releases, and so I figured it would be helpful if I did one video just rounding up my 5 favorites of the new products that I've been trying lately, as well as my 5 least favorites. Now, there are a couple products here that I don't think I have spoken about on my channel yet, but I have been testing off camera. Most of those go in the least favorite category because normally if I don't really love a product, I'm not really gonna use it on camera, but we'll get into that when the time comes. I hope you guys are gonna find today's video helpful. Let me know down below your thoughts on any of the products that I'm talking about today. And also, I may or may not have a surprise giveaway at the end of the video, so you may want to stick around. All right, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Let's begin with my 5 favorite new products. So this is the Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions Mascara. I really do feel like this mascara was just released just out of thin air, out of nowhere. I was not mentally or physically prepared for it. I tried out the Hourglass Unlocked Mascara, not really having any idea of what this was supposed to do. I mean, from the name itself, I figured that it would give me long, lengthy lashes. I will say it definitely does not make your lashes look so long that it looks like you're wearing lash extensions, but it does do a good job, I find, overall of just making your lashes look lengthy and really separated and fluttery. So I am actually wearing this on my lashes right now. I made a point to put it on today so you can see what it looks like. And you can see how nicely separated and fluttery my lashes look. They're definitely not over the top. Like I said, it does not make your lashes look like you're wearing extensions, but it's a great everyday lash look. I also love the way this mascara looks on my lower lashes. I find that it applies mascara in the perfect way that it doesn't make my lower lashes look super clumpy or like stuck together. It keeps them looking nice and feathery, and it kind of just coats them with a little bit of color to make them more defined. But there's something for me that really takes this mascara over the edge and makes it that much better, and that's the fact that this is actually a tubing mascara. If you don't know what a tubing mascara is, it's basically a formula that comes off with just water. So all you have to do to remove a tubing mascara is take a little bit of water, rub it on your eye, and then it's going to start to come off in clumps. And not only is the removal process super easy, but they also last so well. So while a normal mascara will smudge on the eyes, especially if you get a little bit sweaty or hot, or there's some type of like moisture that goes on your eyes, a tubing mascara will not smudge. That's one of the reasons why I love wearing this on my lower lashes, because it does not go anywhere. Normally, I do not put any mascara on my lower lashes because no matter what, I will get smudging. But with this product, it doesn't. So that is all to say that I really do enjoy this mascara. I love the way it wears. I love the way it makes my lashes look, and I love the way it actually removes. So overall, it's a fantastic product. So speaking of removing makeup, let's talk about the Laneige Cream Skin Milk Oil Cleanser. So I do feel like this product is quite unique. It's really unlike any other cleanser slash makeup remover that I've tried. So what I would typically do when I remove my makeup is I will double cleanse. So I'll go in first with an oil-based cleanser to break down my makeup, and then once I clean that off my face, I'll go in with a second cleanser that is meant to actually get off the oily residue of the last cleanser that I used and to get rid of any excess makeup that's still on my face. This is the very first cleanser that I've ever used that allows me to just use one product to remove my makeup. I go in with this once, put it all over my face, and I would say 99% of my makeup comes off with just a few pumps of this, and then I'll go in again with the same cleanser to remove whatever is left over, and by the end of that second application, everything is gone. Instead of leaving an oily residue, I just find that this product keeps my skin nice and moisturized. It doesn't strip it. It doesn't make my skin feel like it needs like a ton of moisture after cleansing. It's really this perfect balance where it keeps your skin feeling nourished, but yet it breaks down everything that's on your face. Well, the makeup that's on your face, I should say. This is great, and I really don't see this leaving my side anytime soon in my skincare routine. It's just so good. All right, next up I have the shade extension for the M Cosmetics Serum Blushes. Ooh, they're so nice. So I have already spoken about the Cosmetics serum blushes quite a bit on my channel. This is not a new product, but like I said, this is a shade extensions because they did release 4 beautiful new shades. So what makes the Cosmetics serum blushes so special is of course the texture. So the texture, like I said, is very serum-like. So when you apply it to your skin, oh, I applied way too much. It blends in like a skincare product would. So it's just so easy to get a I applied way too much. Let me take half that away. So it's so easy to get a very naturally blushed look. So you're essentially left with a really nice soft color on your cheeks with a lot of intense sheen, which is just super pretty. Especially if you have dry skin, this product is fantastic. So that's all you gotta know about the actual formula. And then we have these new shades, which are so gorgeous. I feel like they really came out with something for everybody. You have a beautiful nude, a true peach, a bright red, and then a bright lavender, which looks really scary in the little jar, but on the cheeks, it's very wearable. So if I had to choose 2 of my favorite colors in this collection, I would definitely have to say that Venetian Rose and Cherry Splash are 2 of my favorites. Venetian Rose is what I'm wearing on my cheeks right now. This color is very pretty. It's one of those colors that will really go with like any look that you're wearing because it's quite neutral. It's kind of like a brown-based pink, and so it just gives a beautiful bronzy look to the cheeks without it being too over the top with any type of color. And then obviously Cherry Splash is like the complete opposite. This is not a neutral color at all. It's truly like a bright cherry red. And even though this looks super insane and bright in the little jar, it's actually very wearable. And you can see once it's actually blended out, it is not even close to being as bright as it is in the little jar. For me, if I were to just pinch my cheeks, this would be the color that my cheeks would turn. And so I do feel like that with this on the cheeks and maybe even on a little bit of the bridge of the nose, it kind of gives your skin that I just sat in the sun look. I did talk about these briefly over on Instagram, and I had a lot of people ask me how these compare with some of the other shades that they already have in the collection. So I will insert swatches right over here. I have a couple of like the more similar shades that they already have so that you guys can see the differences between all of them. The only thing that I will say about this product is that it's not the most long wearing. Because it is such a sheer formula, it will fade throughout the day. So if you do want to lock in the color, I would recommend layering with a powder. But for those like no makeup days, for an everyday look, or even just if you want to go full glam but you want a really glowy sheer cheek, these are perfect. So next, this is kind of random, but I've been loving these so much. I felt like I needed to mention them as one of my favorites. These are the new NARS oil-infused lip tints. I don't know necessarily if this formula is brand new, although I haven't tried it up until trying this guy over here, but I do know that both of these shades at least are fairly new on the market. So this is actually what I'm wearing on my lips right now. I'm wearing this guy right here called Orgasm X. This is part of their new Orgasm collection. Okay, I zoomed you guys in so you guys can see the full effect that this lip product gives the lips, and I kind of feel like it speaks for itself. I don't really feel like I need to say much. They are so glossy and reflective and like glowy. I mean, look at that gorgeous sheen that this product gives the lips. This color just kind of gives a bit of a coral tint to the lips, and of course there's a lot of gold shimmer in here that isn't too chunky or in your face, but again, it just gives that little bit more of a pop and dimension to the lip look. And besides the way that it looks, this also feels super comfortable. This is considered a lip oil, so it feels pretty buttery on the lips. There's no stickiness or tackiness to it, so it's very comfortable to wear. Now, honestly, guys, when I saw these lip products, I was kind of turned off by them. I wasn't familiar with this formula, so I just thought that it would be very intensely metallic, especially when I saw these two guys. This is Laguna and this is Reef. Laguna is kind of like this bronze shade in the tube, and then Reef is more of like a champagne, and I just thought that these would just be gold lip central. What I find that this metallic sheen actually does for this product is it just gives a lot of dimension to the gloss. So it's not just a flat gloss, it does have a lot of shimmer and sparkle to it, and that's what I find makes it look so gorgeous on the lips. Like, it really makes your lips come alive. So you know what, while I'm here, I might as well just swatch these on my lips so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So then we have Reef, which is probably my favorite of the three. It's kind of like a bronzy champagne, and this color just really complements nude lipsticks really nicely. So here's what it looks like on its own, but I really do feel like this particular color really shines when it is layered on top of a nude. So you know what, let me actually show you that. Okay, so this is just the lipstick on its own. Now I'm gonna take Reef and layer that right on top. And it just makes your lips look literally wet. It just brings that lipstick to life. It's so freaking gorgeous. So this one is definitely the most wearable of the three. Okay, then we have Laguna, which looks really crazy and intense in the tube. This one also looks beautiful on top of a nude. But on its own, it kind of just adds a little bit of warmth to the lips. These are sheer, obviously. The only one that really pops on its own is the Orgasm X shade. Okay, so I just applied a matte nude. This is Natasha Denona Susanna, by the way. And I'm gonna take Laguna. Beautiful. How nice that is. And that is Laguna layered on top of a nude. So good. So those are the NARS lip oils. Again, if you're looking for something to layer on top of a nude lipstick, just to kind of bring it to the next level, add some dimension, add some shimmer, and some gloss, these two shades are wonderful, Reef and Laguna. And then Orgasm X is great to wear on its own, and layered actually on top of more like peachy lipsticks, also so pretty. So my last new product favorite is definitely the Patrick Ta Double Take Cream and Powder Blush. This one in particular is in the shade She's So LA, but I wanted to just mention this collection in general because I've tried two colors, this one and the peachier shade. I forget what it's called, but they're both beautiful. So these are little cheek duos from Patrick Ta. You have a powder as well as a cream that perfectly complement each other. There are a couple reasons why I think this is great. The first reason is because it's such a versatile product. With just one product, you are able to get 3 different blush looks. You can use the powder on its own, you can use the cream on its own, or you can of course layer them together. Now, the way that these can be layered is actually also pretty unique. You are actually able to layer the cream on top of the powder with this formula without anything weird happening, because typically if you do layer creams on top of powders, you may get some lifting, some pilling. Sometimes the formulas don't typically work, and we're always taught to never pretty much do that and to always layer powders on top of creams to kind of like set them down. But I watched one of his tutorials and he did suggest to do it the other way around, and I have been doing it that way ever since with these duos, and I love it because it obviously makes the blush look more long wearing than if you were to just apply a cream, because once the cream does fade, you are still left with that powder underneath. And because you aren't setting that cream with the powder, you're still left with that beautiful creamy sheen that a cream gives the skin. Now, I do want to talk about this particular shade because it is pretty interesting and kind of unique for a blush shade. When I initially saw this online, I actually thought that this was going to be a bronzer, but he had said in one of his tutorials that he actually created the shade for people who don't like to wear blush. And so he wanted to create a shade that wouldn't necessarily add color to the cheeks, but would instead just add warmth. And he really created the perfect color for that. And both formulas really are so great. The powder is very creamy and smooth. Like, it almost feels like a cream when you touch it. That's how smooth it is. And the cream is a great formula. I find that it almost sets down to like a powdery finish. So yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about the new Patrick Ta blushes, but I think they're definitely worth checking out. So those are some of my favorite newer beauty products. So now it's time to talk about some of my least favorite. So I've been testing out the Huda Beauty Glow Coco Hydrating Mist for probably about like a week now. And every single time I spray this on my face, I fully regret it. So this is a mist that's supposed to add glow to your skin. It's also supposed to give you a boost of hydration. So that got me and my dry skin very excited. And so I would use it before applying my makeup, after applying my makeup, but every single time I would use it, it would make my skin so glowy and so hydrated that it was kind of borderline over the top. This actually reminds me quite a bit of the Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist, and that mist and I have had quite a roller coaster of a history. There's times where I love it, there's times where I really hate it, and I just feel like it's a product that has its place. There's some makeup applications where it could call for more of like a dewy skin mist, and I'm okay with looking super glowy because of whatever products I use underneath it. But then there's some makeup applications, which are honestly most, where I feel like a glowy skin mist can sometimes just go over the top and it makes my skin too moist and too glowy and too shiny. And I have very dry skin. So for me to say that, It's a statement. It really is. Now I will say though, a product like this can come in handy if you have very, very dry skin and you are using a pretty like matte and full coverage foundation and you want to add a little bit of dew and life to it. Something like this is actually kind of great. And those are typically the moments where I would use like the Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist. But in any other circumstance, the Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist, as well as this guy over here, which is what we're talking about today, is just way too much. If you are looking for a good mist that's going to add some hydration to your skin, but maybe not like an overwhelming amount of glow, I really love the Youth to the People Soothe and Hydrate Mist. That one is fantastic. It really does make your skin feel nice and like hydrated and moisturized. And the new Laneige Mist is also actually really, really good. It's very similar to the Youth to the People one. Another kind of skin related product that I wanted to talk about is the Charlotte Tilbury Charlotte's Magic Cream Light. So this is supposed to be the lightweight version of the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, which is one of Charlotte Tilbury's cult favorite products. So I'm not really the biggest fan of the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I liked it as a makeup base, but I didn't like it actually as a moisturizer. I didn't really find that it did anything special for my skin, and it was also quite a pricey product. And I am actually okay to spend a little bit more money on a really, really good skincare item, but I just didn't find that it was anything special enough to warrant its quite high price tags. So the Magic Cream Light is kind of like the same thing for me. I find that it sits fine underneath makeup, but as an actual moisturizer, I don't find that it does anything special. It says that it's a magic cream, but I don't really find it's very magical at all. And it's very, very pricey at like $125 Canadian. Like I would rather put that towards a SkinCeuticals moisturizer because that I actually find makes a huge difference in my skin. This guy though, it's just a good makeup base, and I have a lot of good makeup bases that aren't $125. So I just feel like this would be something that I would skip on. And if you're looking for a really good moisturizer at that price range, I wouldn't go towards this. I'm sorry. Next on the list is an Urban Decay mascara. This is the new Lash Freak mascara. Now I did briefly speak about this, I think it was in my last video, and this is such a strange mascara, and honestly because it is so weird and strange, I thought that it would actually be great because sometimes really weird products tend to work out, but this was just not the case for this guy. You basically have two different sides to this wand. You have this interesting kind of like wing shape on one side with very, very, very short bristles, and then on the right hand side you kind of have nothing, but right at the top right there you have a teeny tiny little ball of bristles, and this little ball is meant for you to be a bit more precise with your application so that you could get some volume in some specific areas and almost like clump your lashes together. I mean, just to keep it really simple, man, this just made my lashes so clumpy. Like I was not able to get any separation with this wand, and so all of my lashes just like just stuck together. I was even trying to like use the little tip to kind of separate things and add that definition, and it just wasn't working. It was kind of going everywhere, and it just did not make my lashes look good. So this was just kind of a big old fail for me. I really, really tried to make this work. I really wanted to love it, but it's just no good. So next up, I have a very luxurious mascara here. This is the Gucci Mascara L'Obscure in Eye Black. It's just a black shade. Before I go into why I didn't like this product, I will say that I cannot get rid of this because the packaging is so gorgeous. One thing that Gucci does right for all of their makeup products that I've seen thus far is their packaging. It's like so beautiful. Their lipsticks are gorgeous. Their new bronzer packaging, don't even get me started. The Gucci bronzer packaging just brings me back to a time where bronzer compacts, or just powder compacts in general, were so ornate and gorgeous. This mascara packaging is also quite stunning. It's very classy lady. You have this nice nude tube with this beautiful gold cap over here, and it's actually quite hefty. So overall, just using this product is a very luxe experience. It's $46, which is $10 more than say the Hourglass mascara. So it is definitely on the pricier side. I mean, it is Gucci, that's to be expected. And so if you're gonna be spending $46 on a luxe mascara, it better be absolutely fantastic. It can't only look good, it has to have the brains too. So this is what the one looks like. This is another one with plastic bristles. It's very, very spiky. But to be honest, guys, like it really doesn't do anything special to my lashes. I find that it looks fine. I don't hate it. It doesn't make my lashes look super clumpy like the Urban Decay one does, but it also doesn't make my lashes look incredible or over the top or anything where I'm like, oh my god, yes, I need to purchase this when I'm finished. There's formulas at the drugstore that don't even hold a candle to this formula, so it's just kind of like not worth it. in my opinion. So the last product that I want to talk about is a little bit different than all the other ones that I've spoken about so far, because this is one that I have not yet tried and that I don't have here with me. This is more of like a product that I just want to purchase, so kind of like an anti-haul. And that product is the new Becca Cosmetics Zero No Pigment Foundation. Now, I'm sure you guys have been hearing about this, kind of whispered about the beauty community lately, because it's a really weird product. In fact, it's not actually weird, it's just weirdly named, and I feel like a little bit misleading, which is why it's causing a lot of confusion, which is why I'm just not really interested in purchasing the product. So this is basically marketed as a no pigment foundation. So a foundation that has no pigment. I'm sorry, but that doesn't exist. There's only foundations that are very, very sheer, that have like very little coverage, but to have a product that is marketed as a foundation with zero pigment, that's not a foundation. It's just not. And what really bothers me about this product is the fact that they did market it as such when this is clearly just supposed to be a blurring primer. It says in the description of the product that it is a makeup and skincare hybrid with a transparent matte finish that smooths skin and blurs the look of imperfections while providing lasting hydration. And from the reviews online, a lot of people are saying the same thing. There are people that are saying, I'm not sure what this product is supposed to be. And again, this is not to say that I think this product is bad at all. There's actually some people saying that it works amazing as an actual primer underneath their foundation. But I think the way that it was like presented, it just bit of a turn off for me. So I will not be purchasing that. It's kind of one of like the newer products and I'm just like, all right guys, so that finishes off today's video. Those are my 5 favorite and my 5 least favorite makeup releases. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know all your thoughts down below on all the products that I spoke about today. Before I leave, like I said at the beginning of the video, I am doing kind of like a pop-up giveaway. This is kind of like a little surprise giveaway. I just want to do one just because, for no particular reason, just because I wanted to give back to you guys. I'm basically gonna put together a little box filled with a bunch of makeup. I will insert a picture of that box right over here. So if you want to enter, I will leave all of the details in the description box down below. All right guys, that is it. I will see you in the next one. Bye.